Section 2.4 is going to help us understand what to do with these measurements once we have them. So we're going to be looking at this idea of an approximate number and also this idea of significant digits to help us determine how accurate one of our numbers is. So how do we decide if a number is approximate or exact? Well, it all comes from how it was obtained. If something was measured, then there's an implicit amount of approximation or rounding that had to happen in that measurement, because you're always at least rounding the very last part of any measurement that you take. Depending on how good of a tool that you're using can determine how accurate you are, but there's always going to be some amount of approximation. Now, a number that's exact is happening when you're counting something or you're using some formula that has an exact amount in it. So if I were to count how many trees I had in my backyard, then that would be an exact number. But if I were trying to measure the height of a tree, then depending on how good of a tool could help me determine how good of a measurement I can get, but it still would be approximate. We're also going to be talking about this idea of significant digits. And why do we need to worry about significant digits? Well, it's going to help us determine how accurate our measurements are. So again, certain tools have a much better ability to get an accurate measurement, but we want to make sure that we recognize which digits are actually part of the accuracy and then which digits were based on some rounding. So significant digits are going to help us determine how good of a measurement we have. And then we're also going to be looking at this idea of precision versus accuracy. And what this is going to help us see is, first, where is the last significant digit? And so you can see in this picture that there's the same weight on two different scales. And the scale on the right is more precise because the last significant digit is there in the tens place. It's also more accurate because it has more significant digits. And so in this section, you'll be learning how to count the number of significant digits and then how to determine when you have a number that's more precise and how to determine a number that's more accurate.